So I just had a quick change in Game 3. I was disappointed with how Massacre performed. I really wanted a win condition there. I felt like Bloodbraid Elf was the next best card to bring in. I know I could have also brought back the Primeval Titan as a win condition. Anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time on it, so Bloodbraid's in. She can be quite sweet. She can hit a tutor or time walk off. Anyway, let's get back to the games. Did I pick up my sideboard again? Alright, so we're back in it. Here's my hand. I've got Restore, Badlands, Windswept Heath, Into the North, Demir Houseguard. That's a pretty sweet hand. Metamorphose.
Okay. So I have a hand of Lanor Elves, Forest. I have one other land, which I think is a Tundra. I think I've got some sort of white 3-drop, I believe. I'm trying to remember what I kept this game.
Yeah, so I've drawn Search for Tomorrow, which is it's probably the best ramp spell of my whole deck except for Time Walk.
Yeah.
And I just passed the turn.
Okay, so I've got a Brainstorm in hand. Looks like I've got a Mana Drain again. Mana Drain, I just drew it a lot these rounds, it seems.
Mana Drain wrecks me.
It's a very good card. So I've shocked with how I'd found it. It wasn't a Tundra, how I'd found it. I'm brainstorming to try and find something more relevant. I think I've got a Strangle Geist in hand that I'm prepared to cast if I don't draw anything more important.
So you draw Mana Drain a lot, and I draw Kelny Garden a lot.
Yeah, it seems a bit unfair, doesn't it?
It's probably an indicator of where this match is heading, and we'll find out.
In a lot of the games, to be fair, Counterspell would have been almost as good as Mana Drain.
Yeah.
I didn't draw Counterspell once.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, your deck's pretty colour intensive, so you can't. You do get some sweet plays with the colourless mana, like an
Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp is the main one.
Yeah, Clamp's where you can sink your mana. Yeah.
Clamp plus Mana Drain is really, really, really degenerate.
Yeah. All right. So what are you doing right now?
So I've brainstormed. I'm having a think. I've got a Birthing Pod. I've got a Mana Leak, which looks like I just put back. So I must have another Counterspell, because otherwise I would never, ever in a million years put the Mana Leak back.
My housemates are all singing in the kitchen. If you can hear them.
Okay, so I had an option between... I put a Stringer, it goes back. I had an option between Noble Hierarch and Lanor Elves. And I want the Noble Hierarch here, because I think I have a Glenendra Archmage in hand. I want to be able to play it and have mana up to activate it next turn. So that's what I was thinking about at that time. So I put the Stringer Geist back on the second card from the Brainstorm, and I put something else that I'm going to draw next turn. But I don't want to see the Geist, so I'm going to shuffle that away with the Birthing Pod, hopefully in 2 turns' time.
Yeah. So I've drawn Diligent Farmhand, not the best draw. I'm going to Metamorphose here. Hopefully I can find something more spicy. Maybe a Time Walk. That'd be good.
Yeah, so Luke floated Blue Mana here, which made me very confused, because I thought his only blue spell was the Transmute for Clutch of the Undercity, so he could get Scapeshift.
Yeah, and I drew a Tropical Island, which is not that great.
So I didn't read too much into the blue mana being floated, but I was slightly confused.
Yeah. I just restored your Windswept Heath.
No, your own Windswept Heath. You restored mine twice in this best of 3, but you've restored your own.
Yeah,
I think the only land that got restored at all.
Yeah, I think so.
Very popular, the old Windswept Heath.
Yeah.
So you're fetching off. What are you thinking about here? What are you thinking about?
Alright, so I'm paranoid that you've got Ravages of War Armageddon, because you were like really happy with one of your draws. You're like, sweet hand or something like that.
Yeah. The Brainstorm was great. I think I saw the Glenendra Archmage, which is what I was really happy with.
So I was careful to get the basic land that I would least want post Geddon or Ravages of War. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
Because I need to be able to recover out of it if you have it.
So here we go, guys. I'm just casting the Glenendra Archmage. I'm keeping the Underground Sea up, because if he does have a Destroy effect, that's the land I care least about at the moment. And I don't want to keep the Hierarch up in case you have a removal spell for the Hierarch, and then he can resolve some non-creature spell. It's not too relevant here, because Luke will only have 5 mana in play, theoretically. But it's just small improvements. And Archmage is something I want to get down as soon as possible against him.
You just want Scapeshift protection?
Scapeshift protection, or anything else, like Tutors, or
Yep.
Damnation would have been very bad for me there, because I'm actually I don't have any more lands, I think. I think this is the only lands I have access to at the moment.
Right.
I didn't draw a fetch land or anything, so
Alright, so I'm going to the north. I'm taking the black.
Yeah.
Am I taking a swamp? Taking the black?
Yeah, I guess you're taking the black. You're taking the Oath of the Night's Watch. Oh, anyway, that's neither here nor there, I suppose.
Oh, I go for the island. Damn.
So I thought you drew a tropical
and it's
island.
snow-covered as well, lol. Yeah, it's in my hand.
Okay, so you're still thinking about Ravages of War, I think.
Yeah, at this stage, yeah. Because I've got the blue from the Trops in my hand.
Yeah.
So I figured that I don't mind losing the island.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Armageddon and Ravages of War from last week played a big impact in these games, maybe from gained me for an advantage, despite the fact they weren't even in my list. So
yeah, so the perils of trying to be clever and look at someone's list.
Yeah, well, I haven't played the same deck every week. I've tinkered with it a bit, making some small changes.
I knew you didn't have Wasteland in your list, and that was quite handy when I was choosing which lands to tutor for during the match.
Yeah, well, obviously Wasteland's very good against Valakut. Because when you Scapeshift, you can shoot the Valakut and everything shoot one of the mountains and everything fizzles.
Yeah, well, obviously I'm not going to try and Scapeshift if you have the
Wasteland and you have
So I was happy to have the Diligent Farmhand because I could float the mana post Geddon and then activate after Geddon.
Yep.
But yeah, it turns out you didn't even have them in your deck. So
I'm very conspicuously keeping Double Blue up and not activating Pod, which is I'm thinking it's just telling me I want to be able to activate Archmage twice. I think I have Mana Drain as well.
In my mind, I was like, oh, he just wants to hold up double activation, but I didn't consider that you probably be happy holding out one activation and pod one of your mana guys.
I think what I'm thinking about at the moment is that I've won this game regardless because Archmage is very, very good. And it stops the Scapeshift from killing me, and I don't think you have many answers to it.
Yeah, well, if I draw a Titan, it probably...
Well, and that's what I'm thinking about. I want to be able to beat Titan as well, and I think I have Mana Drain in hand, and that's why I'm holding up Double Blue so I can Titan as well.
Yeah.
And it's not worth me birthing potting. So I know I'm going to draw a Stringer Root guys I don't really want, but it's... I don't really mind too much about that.
So I've drawn a Demir House Guard, but I can't get Scapeshift because you'll just Glenelander it. I've bought it in Skin Render, and that's what I really want to cast right now. But last turn I got the island instead of the swamp. So if I had got the swamp, I would have had quad black to Skin Render the Glenelandra, and would have been awesome. But you had the Mana Drain anyway. So I do find the Skin Render, even though I can't cast it this turn, I want to kill the Glenelandra dead because persist. I do have the Counter Garden. What do you know?
There we go. Counter Garden and Mana Drain all 3 games so far, unless I'm wrong.
So just to remind everyone, Glenelandra has persist, but if it Skin Render gives -1/-1 counters, so it won't come back. So it'll be permadead.
Indeed, and that's quite a nice interaction. One I'm sure you're hoping to engineer.
Yes, I am. In my mind, I'm thinking you're just gonna sack it and get a Thragtusk this turn anyway, or you're just gonna sack one of your 1-drops for a Strangle Root and put more pressure on me.
I basically just wanted to have 2 counter spells in case you had like something else like Damnation, or like I wanted to have 2 pieces of interaction. And the Archmage is just so good as a 2-for-1. The Thragtusk doesn't really do much here. I feel like I've already got very strong control of the board.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of you can do between the Mana Drain, the Venser, and the rest, and the Pod and the Archmage that I'm afraid of at this point.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were playing Mind Sensor in your list. If you did have it, I like the Skin Renders and Flame Tongues and Massacres and Damnations, but since you haven't got it, maybe I would have been better just having more fatties. Just huge guys to win the game with. Yeah. Anyway.
So I'm casting a Stringer Root Geist.
So natural, you didn't pod for it?
Yep, and I think I'm tapping the Hierarch. No, because I figured out I couldn't actually attack the Llanowar Elves. I wanted to keep all 3 mana up so I could have Mana Drain and Glenelandra. So the extra point of damage from attacking the Llanowar Elves wasn't relevant.
You needed the extra blue mana.
No, I just decided I valued the extra blue mana, keeping it up.
So you needed the extra blue mana?
Well, I didn't need to.
Okay.
I made a decision that the blue mana was more relevant than the extra point of damage.
Yeah, which is what I said. Kinda.
Sure.
Anyway.
I think it could have gone either way. So I pod for Vendilion Click, because at the moment, as I said, I feel like I'm in control of the game and I'm just trying to not lose.
Yeah, I think I'm just picking at you because I was salty about you smashing my face in.
Yeah, this game was quite a walkover. Glenelg Archmage is very, very good against you, and you can't seem to be quite land flooded on top of that.
I was just hoping for a Titan, but I drew Skin Render and lands.
At the moment, the reason I didn't take the Skin Render, guys, is because I figured the only possible way I can lose this game, considering the cards in my hand and the life totals, is if Luke somehow had Vexing Shusha plus Scapeshift.
You mentioned that card a couple of times.
Well, like because a bunch of times it was the only card I could lose the game to. Looking at my hand, I think.
Oh, what if I draw like I don't know?
What card?
Maelstrom Wanderer off the top.
I didn't know about that actually, and that would actually have done a lot of work.
Yeah, Maelstrom Wanderer, Titan.
That's living the dream. But no, Maelstrom Wanderer into Brumate Dragon or Maelstrom Wanderer gets there.
Yeah.
And it was a card I had absolutely no idea Luke was running. Yeah. If Luke had cast Maelstrom Wanderer there, my draw would have hit the floor. But then it just supports my V-click line of not taking this Skin Render because I don't want you to draw anything that might throw a spanner into the works.
Yeah. I was glad that you let me keep it.
So I think I mana drained it there. Did I? Did you cast it?
Yes, you drained it, yes.
Okay, I've just drained it. So I'm potting, and I'm choosing to not to pay the 2 life because in case it's relevant, and I've got so much mana floating because of the mana drain. And I think I'm going to pot into Phantasmal Ridge or a Stoneforge Mystic.
What would be the best thing to get now? You just want to...
Oh, Strangler Ghost. I think I'm just going for lethal. No? I've already got it in play. What am I getting? Oh! I did the math, and I figured that Stoneforge Mystic plus Skull Clamp was exactly lethal. But I miscalculated by 1. I miscounted somewhere, and...
You have Sword of Fire and Ice on your board, don't you?
I do have it in the board. I didn't bring it in.
You didn't bring it in, so that would have been a lethal.
So I figured the extra 1 power from Skull Clamp actually was lethal here, and I think I counted the power of Stoneforge Mystic. For some reason, during my complex maths, I forgot that it didn't have haste, or not forgot that it didn't have haste. Just for some reason, it added its power because I was busy adding powers together, and I realised I've actually only got 10 damage on board here. If you have a look closely, and the Skull Clamp. See, I'm recounting now, and I've just realised I don't have lethal.
No, you won short, right?
So I probably should have potted for Phantasmal Image for another Glenelg, just to be sure, and then that would have sealed the deal.
Yeah, you could have sacked Hierarch to get Phantasmal Image.
Yeah, and get Strangleroot Geist, and that would have been enough.
Yeah.
Wow, so I missed lethal there, guys. The Skull Clamp was 1 power. If I got Phantasmal Image chopping Strangleroot, I would have just won the game on the spot. So that was a little misplay. I forgot my own deck could do that.
It happens.
Oh, Pod's a pretty hard card to play perfectly.
It is.
There's a lot of options, especially in Highlander, because your entire deck's one-ofs, and it's very easy to forget one of them.
Yeah. Here we go, what have we got? It's a land. No, Siege Gang Commander. Oh no, I had that last turn. So... Siege Gang, if it resolves here, actually keeps me alive.
Do you have enough red? 2 red? Yep, 4 red. So you could kill the Glenelg and persist the...
Yeah, but you've got the Venser.
I've got the Venser.
Yeah.
And it's all over.
Actually, it wouldn't have kept me alive, would it? Oh yeah, it would have, yeah.
Yeah, you could block, shoot both the flies.
Yeah. Anyway, alright, so that's the end of game 3. Kichi leads 2-1 currently.
Yeah.
Kichi Kichi Koo.